Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and in this video we are going to see how to customize the tab bar, the bottom tab bar in a .NET MAUI application in Shell Apps basically. So this is going to be a part of a series where we are going to see different customization options for the Shell bottom tab bar. And in this particular video, we are going to start with gradient background for the tab bar. Okay, so in this we are going to see gradient tab bar. Then maybe in upcoming videos I'm going to show you other customization options, how we can customize other stuff on the tab bar in bottom tab bar. So here I have just created a .NET 8 application. This is .NET 8 app. It is going to apply for .NET 9 as well. And in here what I have done, I have simply added two XAML content pages, new page 1, new page 2, and in the app shell.xaml, I have simply added this tab bar and added these two shell content here. So right now, our application is going to have a simple tab bar with these three tab items. That's all what I have done so far. Okay, if we see the basic customization which shell offers, here if we say shell dot tab bar, we can set the tab bar background color, disabled color, foreground color if tab bar is visible or not, tab bar's title color, and if the tab is not selected, then unselected. These are the basic stuff which shell gives us out of the box. But if we want to use gradient background on tab bar, there is nothing which is there directly out of the box. For this we need to work the platform specific code. Okay, so for this the approach we are going to follow, we are going to use shell handlers, and we are going to add the platform specific code for Android and iOS. If you have seen my one of my previous video where we have done that a tab bar badge, okay, that count which gets increased, and there is this small counter badge in the tab bar. The approach we followed in that video, we are going to follow the same approach in this video. Let me try to, yeah, it is here. So how to implement tab bar badge using .NET MAUI. So this thing in this video I have shown you how to do this. So I'm going to drop the link of this video in the description box. I would recommend you guys to check this video out as well. In this current video we are going to follow the same approach. All right, so when we say platform specific code, we need to go to the Android and iOS separately. So in Android folder, let's create a new class, and the name is up to you. You can name it whatever you want. First, let's do this gradient shell, or let's say gradient tab bar shell handler. Okay, let's choose the same application level namespace so that we can directly use it. Now, the main thing is it should derive from the shell renderer. And so if you see, it comes from Microsoft MAUI controls handlers compatibility namespace. In here, what we need to do, we need to override a method. What is happening? Why this is here? We have a couple of methods which we can override, but we are interested in this first method, which says create bottom nav view appearance tracker. This one. So this is for bottom tab bar in Android. It returns I shell bottom nav view appearance tracker, this interface. So right now it is using the base one, but we don't want to use this base one. We need to provide our own implementation for it. That means we need to create a class which is going to add that gradient background, and it should return this I shell bottom nav view appearance tracker. Let's quickly create a class here. So we'll say class. Let's have internal only. You can make it public as well, but because this was internal, so I'm using internal here as well. So here, let's say gradient, and then let's maybe copy this bottom nav view appearance tracker. It should implement this interface. Okay. Now this interface has multiple methods, but we already have a default implementation for this. That is, without this I, we have shell bottom nav view appearance tracker, which actually implements this interface. If we go here, it implements this interface and it has a bunch of stuff which actually creates the bottom tab bar with all the binding and all. So we want to use this because we are going to use all the predefined things. The only thing which we are adding, that is just a background, the gradient background of the tab, right? So we can use everything from there only. Now inside this, right now it is giving us an error that shell bottom nav view appearance tracker, this does not have a default constructor, it just has a parameterized. Okay, so we need to have the parameterized constructor. Let's do that, generate constructor. We are using this constructor with these things. Save it, and now we are good. Okay, now here what we will do, we will simply override a method. Here it has a couple of different methods. We will use the set appearance method. We are going to override this method. This is the one which creates the appearance of the bottom tab. So first line should be base.set appearance. So it is going to do the default stuff for us, setting the tab bottom tab bar and binding and all those things. We will not touch this thing. After doing this, now we want to add a gradient back. For this, in Android side, we have drawables. So for gradient, also we have a drawable. Gradient drawable equals new gradient drawable. This thing. It has a default constructor and it has a parameterized constructor where we have this orientation and int array of colors. We can maybe use this one, and then we can set the gradient drawable dot set orientation and set colors if we want to, colors and set color. But we can directly use this constructor as well. So first thing, we need to set the gradient drawable dot orientation. So let's set this gradient drawable dot orientation dot. Now it has multiple type of orientation, basically the way we want to add the colors to our gradient. So for the sake of simplicity, we are going to use left right. So that means start from the left, go to the right to generate that gradient. Okay, second parameter is int array of colors. That means inside this gradient what all colors we need. So we are using left right, we'll just use two colors and it is an int array. So we can use collection expression here. Let's do this. We'll say colors dot, let's start from orange and let's go to the colors dot, let's go to the yellow. Start from orange, go to yellow, use the left right. That means left is going to be orange, right is going to be yellow. It will simply go from orange to yellow. Okay, it's complaining and it is saying int, it's int, so we can simply use the to platform version. Colors.orange.to platform, colors.yellow.to. Now our gradient drawable is ready. Now we just need to set this gradient. We are going to set it on this bottom view. This is a reference to our bottom tab. Here we'll say bottom view dot set background drawable, and we are going to set this gradient drawable. And it is saying that this is deprecated. So what is the method which we should use? Deprecated. To portion this page, it does not say what we should do. Let's see. Add obsolete. No, we don't want to. Let's see what other version we have. We have background color, background drawable. We have set background. Here we can set the drawable. Yes. So bottom view dot set background. We are going to use this method. With this, our method is ready. Our this navbar appearance tracker is ready. Now we just need to use this one inside this. Here we were returning this thing. Now we will not return this. Instead, we will return new this gradient bottom nav view appearance tracker. Here we need to provide shell context and shell item. Shell item we are getting as a parameter inside this. In shell context, it will run inside the context of this only, this class. We are going to use this as a shell context and shell item as a parameter which we are getting from here. Now our platform specific code for Android is ready. Now we just need to hook this code in our main MAUI application. Right now this is just independent code. So here, because this is a handler, we'll go to MAUI program. Here we are going to register that handler shell. So here, inside this builder only, we can say configure MAUI handlers. Here it takes action of iMaui handlers collection. Handlers. Then here we can add the handlers dot add handler. Here if we see, we have T type and T type renderer. So first is type. For the shell, we want our, what was that name? Gradient tab bar shell handler. We want this type. But it says something that this is available only on Android because we have created this inside Android only. So let's add the conditional compilation here. So we'll say if hash if this is Android, then only do this, and if that is not the case, it will do nothing. This line is not going to be compiled. So we are going to be good. All right. So with this, we should be able to see our gradient background. Let's try it out. So I'm going to connect a physical device here, and then I'm going to run it against my physical device, and I'll use visor to mirror that. Okay. Then I'm going to run this. It will take some time because we are running it for the first time. I don't know what is happening. Visual Studio is not responding. Let me maybe switch off video. All right. Finally, the app is going to be deployed. I had to move the project to an internal directory. It was in external hard disk that's working. The Visual Studio was not responding. I can maybe, yes, okay, I can see the gradient. Let me quickly open up Visor, show you how the app looks, and it is looking great actually. See here, if you can see, this is our here. Yeah. New page one, new page two, and this is our app bar. This color combination is not that good, but you got the idea. This is how it is going to look like. You can have, you can play around with different type of orientations. You can play around with different type of colors and all. This is how you're going to see this. And to handle the text color of these tab bar labels and all, you can technically have these in handlers as well, but you can handle these from the app shell, the way you will use the shell dot tab bar title color and unselect. Okay, so this will still work. We say title color is white, we can see this is white. If we say tab bar unselected color as white, now these two are, these things can be handled from here only. Save it and we cool. So this is how we can have the gradient background for the tab bar on the Android. Now we'll see how we can do this for iOS. Stop this. Let's now go to platforms and iOS. So here also we are going to add the similar kind of thing. So let's copy this name gradient tab bar shell handler. Let's go to iOS, create a new class file. We are going to name it same, but this name is up to you. You can name it whatever you want, but I'm making the thing similar. Here also we'll change the namespace to just have the main application name. And this is also going to be the same shell renderer, derived from shell renderer. Here we'll say override, and what all we can see is that create tab bar appearance tracker. There we had create bottom nav view appearance tracker, but here we have create tab bar appearance tracker. Okay. Here also similarly shell tab bar appearance tracker. We are returning this thing, but we will not return this. We'll create a class here. We'll say internal class, and let's say gradient. Copy this thing. Here we are going to have the same implementation, shell tab bar appearance tracker. Okay. Here we are going to override a method, set appearance, reset appearance, and update layout. So this update layout is the method which we are going to use for iOS. Okay. Here first thing will be this update layout only. Before doing this, let's do this. Let's comment this return page.create tab bar appearance tracker. Instead of this, we are going to use this one, gradient shell tab bar tracker. Return this one from here. Return new gradient shell tab bar appearance tracker like this. Now we are good. Here, after base.update layout, we need to have a way of getting the drawable gradient drawable kind of thing. But inside the iOS, we have something like CA gradient layer. Okay, so we are going to use this. So we'll say gradient layer equals new CA gradient layer. Here we have default constructor and we have an encoder which we are not going to use. Let's see what all properties we have. We have a lot of properties here, but what we need out of these, first thing we need frame. That is going to be what is the bounding rectangle bounding size, so that we can get from this controller. So we'll say controller dot tab bar, we can access tab bar dot frame, we can access the frame from here. We are going to use the same frame what tab bar has. After that we are going to have colors. These colors, if we see, this is an array of CG color. Okay. So again we are going to use collection expression, use our colors. So let's say colors dot maybe red dot to CG color. We have this method here. Second color we are going to use colors dot, after red we can use orange dot again to CG color. Save it. Then we had one more thing in there, right? We had the gradient drawable orientation. So here we don't have orientation, but here we have something like start point and end point. Start point is a type of CG point. We'll say new CG point, start from somewhere. So double X double Y. We'll say start from 0 0. You can play around with these values. End point, go with 1 0. Now our gradient layer is ready. Here on this controller dot tab bar, we have a bunch of different things here. We have background color, we have background image. I have tried this. Color is going to be simple color. Background image. I tried to generate an image from this gradient and then setting it to this background image using the UI image, but that did not work. Then because this is a layer, try to set the layer to dot layer, but this also did not work. Then layer, we have a masking. We can set this mask CA layer. This also did not work. Then what worked for me, that was inside this layer we have sublayers. Here we have a method insert sublayer. Here we have layer and then index. So we are going to have this. We are going to set this gradient layer as the 0th index. Now for me there are no layers, but maybe if there are some layers, or maybe you are very much good in the Swift programming and maybe you are doing something else, so you can handle this indexing. Or maybe if you have some unwanted layers, you want to remove those, you can simply access all those layers and remove those simply using layers dot sublayer. Have these, you can remove all those layers if you, and you can set this. So now this is here. Now we need to use this as, we'll go to our Maui program. Here class name is same, right? Handler is going to, we are going to set shell with this gradient tab bar shell handler because the name is same. Right now this is just for Android. Here what we can do, we can simply have this or iOS. If this is Android or iOS, it is going to use this one. Now for Android, right now I have selected Android here, so it will go to the Android version. Here is in Android, and if we select the iOS one, then it will go to the iOS version. Okay, now we need to test this. How we are going to test it? I'm going to push this code to my GitHub, then I'm going to go to my Mac and going to clone this and going to run it there. Let's see how it looks. Or maybe let's try pairing with my Mac. Let me try pairing it with my Mac if that works. Some, so it is paired now. Okay. Now let's see iOS look. Guys, I don't have iOS simulator. We are going to use iOS 15.72. Guys, 15 Pro 17.2, because this is what I have set up. Select this and let me try to start this. Let's see how much time it takes and it comes up here. Let's wait for it. So simulator is here. See it properly. Did not work. Things not right. Let's try to find out what is the issue. It is here. All right. Let's go. We are here. Update layout. Colors. Start point. Frame. Dot frame. Not tab bar dot frame. Tab bar dot bounds. The rectangular area which it takes. Stop and retry. It. It. All right. Let's wait for it to load up again. Okay, it is loading. And now we can see it. You can see. You see, we have gradient background. Now, whatever color you are choosing, you need, it is your responsibility to make the text of tab bars to be visible. So you should choose the colors wisely. What should be the background colors for this gradient, and what should be the foreground colors for these labels for selected and unselected, right? So this is how we can customize the tab bar in our .NET MAUI shell application, and we can have a gradient background for our shell tab bar. Okay, let me give you a quick recap here, quick summary overview what we have done. We need to work in the platform specific code. So in platform, in Android, we created this gradient tab bar shell handler. This should be derived from shell renderer. Here we are overriding a method that is create bottom nav view appearance tracker for the bottom nav bar, bottom tab bar in the Android side. For this, we created this custom gradient bottom nav view appearance tracker, which is derived from the shell bottom nav view appearance tracker. Here we are overriding a set appearance method. First line is to call the base thing which actually creates our bottom tab bar. After that, we simply created a gradient drawable with this orientation of left to right with these two colors, orange and yellow. And then we are simply setting the bottom view dot set background to this gradient drawable. And for iOS, we created the similar gradient tab bar shell handler with this shell renderer. Here also we need to do the same thing, but the method name is create tab bar appearance tracker. We created this implementation class here. Inside this, we are overriding update layout method with first call to the update layout base. Then we are creating a gradient layer using the CA gradient layer frame with the this controller's tab bar bound whatever size the tab bar has. Then we are using these two colors from red to orange. Then start point and end point for this gradient. You can play around with these two are float values. And then we are doing controller dot tab bar. Tab bar has different layers, so inside the layers we have sub layers. So in the sub layer we are adding this gradient at the 0th index. After that, we need to register these shell handlers in our MAUI program. So here we are doing configure MAUI handler. If Android and iOS is the platform we are deploying to, then we are using handler.add handler shell. For shell, we are adding this gradient tab bar shell handler. Okay, you are not bound to use this here only. It is good with chaining, but you can also do this separately using simple builder dot set configure configure MAUI handlers. You can do this as well. These are same actually. All right, so that's all for this video. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe my channel. I'll be back soon with some other cool video. Till then, bye bye.